Good morning, everybody. Good morning, world. This is MikeySuzeFour, and we are here Thursday. So today, of course, is the 18 Thursday reviews. And today we're doing, again, two episodes of that awesome and famous series that I loved for 5 years. It was my favorite series of all time. It's my favorite one from the 80s. Uh, there's no more to say about it. It's just fantastic. I'll debate it with anyone because I really enjoy dating. And and I love that's why I love this end of the week. For me it's Thursday, but then when I do Waltons with, Gorilla and everybody, that's so much fun because that's Friday. But we're moving to Saturday mornings. We're doing some live streaming. We're gonna have hopefully a couple of special guests that will be joining me uh, for what we call the fan film series on Saturdays. And what we'll be doing is a Star Trek fan film at random, which we'll choose and then review on Saturday. And then the following Saturday, we'll do a Star Wars fan film, which we'll choose at random and review. So there's a lot of stuff to do too there. Okay, Brad Wolf 07 says, "Hi, Mikey. I can't stay. I'm almost done with lunch. Then it's back to work. Have a good stream." You too, Brad Wolf. Hang in there, buddy. I know. Long nights like this. Totally understand. Yes. You have a good rest of your work day. Or work morning. Whatever you call it. I, you know, you know me. I'm a night owl. I'm up right now, 2:30 in the morning. I just slept. Believe it or not, I went to bed at 6 o'clock last night on Wednesday, and I slept for 7, almost 8 hours. So I got up around 1 o'clock this morning. I was like, you know, I needed to sleep. Unfortunately I missed Larry and Gorilla's one-on-one thing, but that's okay. I'll get to rewatch it. But I was just, I was just a little disappointed. But I was asleep. I was tired. I finally got this much. I mean, I finally got this much. Finally exhausted. And I just went, and then I just passed out. My wife couldn't even wake me up. She said I was bundling up all the blankies. So for like 4 hours, I'm like all bundled up in these blankets and going, and you can't wake me up when I'm like that, unless some bomb goes off or something happens. So, you know, it was weird. Just but I'm glad. I'm glad I got a lot of good sleep. So, and thank you for the thumbs up there, Brad. Always appreciate that. You're awesome. Okay, so here's the thing. With A Team starting this season 3, there was one oh my god, how do I say this again? Okay, take two. All right. See, I do this on the fly. Okay, so there was a singular episode for season 3, episode 1. But then the next two episodes, they started going into two-parters. And I think that was to build up till you got to season 4, because season 4 is going to get really exciting because then the army is closing in even closer on the A Team, and then they finally, they get a help from an unexpected source, General Stockwell, who's played by Robert Vaughn, the late Robert Vaughn, rest in peace. And then they capture him, and then they go to trial. They go through 3 days of a trial. So I think what will happen is, yeah, no, this is what we'll do. So what will happen is that I will cover the three-parter in one session here. I will cover all three parts, which is called simply the trial, and I'll go through each episode, blah 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 blah, and it gets to the end, right? Where they get shot in a firing squad. But if none of you have really seen much of those episodes, I won't tell you how they got out of that one. Yeah. So well, but that's all coming in the next two seasons. Now, there isn't much season 3 when it started. It got some good episodes. Like I said, a few of them were two-parters, a few of them were pretty good, but you never really got into the gist of why, the A Team is so bonded, as the four guys. And I think that season 3 did explain a bit more of their relationship and how they got along and everything was fine. When they got rid of this is unfortunate, but when they got rid of Tanya Baker character played by Maria Heasley, yeah, then they were on their own. Then it was the He-Man Woman Haters Club, basically, for the next 2 seasons, and they did all they could, and they put out all the stories they could possibly put out there. And as I said, the three-parter trial, that is some of the best TV on that is some of the best writing episodic on television. The three-part The Trial. Fantastic, great stuff there, which of course leads into season 5. But I mean, season 5 just wasn't there. For whatever reason, the guy who plays Frankie Velez, just brought the whole ship down. Ship. I said ship, not the other word, but you know what I mean. Brought down everything. And then Robert Vaughn was just, "Ooh, I'm getting a paycheck. Woohoo. There was only really two good episodes. One was when they went to Europe and there was an NFL type Europe team that had, believe it or not, Joe Namath on it and some other older timers playing European players to train them or whatever, play games or whatever. And it was a whole Russian thing. And then there was a thing called the Spy from Uncle affair. And that was where Stockwell got kidnapped by David McCallum's, you know, so there was a reunion of sorts there from The Man from Uncle, right? But it was called The Spy from Uncle affair. And Stockwell gets kidnapped, and they have to go find him. And if they don't find him alive, then the A team immediately goes back on the on the roster, and they get manhunted by all sorts, by all the armed forces. So basically, the A team's backed into a corner, they're backed into the wall. Truly are for that episode. But I mean, like I said, that's all coming up in future episodes here that we get to do. So what we'll do is our two normal episodes we do today. But the Bend in the River, which is the two-parter which covers episodes 2 and 3, will be split. So we will do part 1 today, but the next Thursday we will do part 2, and then we'll do the next episode after that. So yeah, so that's how we plan on doing it. And let's see. Let's go ahead and get into this first. This is my guide, and of course, we always like to thank the narrator, of course, who does the opening monologue. That, of course, was John Ashley of the 50s and 60s. I always say bleach. Why do I say that? Beach blanket bingo with Annette and you know and the other guy. My brain lately is just going. I can't. Frank. Yeah, Avalon, that's it. Frankie Avalon. So, Avalon, Annette Funicello, or I call her Funny Jello, things like that. But, rest in peace both. But, it just, but Ashley was a part of that. And then he decided to go ahead and do the narration for 18 for all these years and all those seasons. Fantastic. And I'm glad he did. So, anyway, in 1972, a crack commando unit was sent to prison by a military court for a crime they didn't commit. These men promptly escaped from a maximum security stockade to the LA Underground. Today, still wanted by the government, they survive as soldiers of fortune. Now, if you have a problem, and if no one else can help, and if you can find them, maybe you can hire the A team. Pew 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 pew. There, I added that myself. Pew 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 pew. Hey, you get it? Anyway, alrighty. So let's go to the first episode of season 3, which is Bullets and Bikinis. And this came out Tuesday, September 18th, 1984. So literally 4 days before my 19th birthday. Woohoo! Yay. And then The Bend in the River came out 3 days after that on Tuesday, September 25th, with it's called The Bend in the River Part 1, and then followed by The Bend in the River Part 2. But we're doing just Part 1 today. We'll cover Part 2 next week. So, and with that, we'll also cover Fire. So we'll let you know those two again at the end of this review. All right. So let's go to Bullets and Bikinis. All right. And the plot of this is the team comes to the aid of two young girls whose hotel is being terrorized by thugs trying to force them to sell. The director of this was Dennis Donnelly. Lupo and Cannell. Lupo and that. try that again. Lupo and Stephen J. Cannell, of course, wrote it, but also an additional writer was used. His name was Mark Jones. And of course, it featured the usual suspects: George Peppard as Hannibal, Dirk Benedict as Faceman, Dwight Schultz as Howling Man Murdoch, and of course, Mr. T as B.A. Baracus. And of course, we also, let's see, in this episode, yep, I did mention John Ashley, the narrator, of course, for the voice. This episode did not feature Maria Heasley, but she was in the Bend in the River for the two episodes, part one and two, later on as Tanya Baker. So, alrighty. And let's see. Is there anybody here that stands out to me? Betsy Russell, I think, is Tina, because I've heard of Betsy Russell before. So let's take a look at Betsy here, real quick. I like doing this now. I like just choosing one actress or actor at random and doing a little biography, just seeing what they're about. Okay. Betsy Russell was born in San Diego, California. She's best known for her starring role as Jill Tuck, the ex-wife of the Jigsaw Killer in the Saw film series. I knew I recognized her. Very cool. Russell was born into a family of educators. Her father, iconic economist Richard Russell, wrote a newsletter about the stock market for over 50 years called Dow Theory Letters. And her grandmother, or grandfather, what am I saying? Ah, Max Lerner was an author and syndicated columnist, and he's said to be one of the great minds of our time. And Russell, they said, seemed to be destined for greatness, and she set the bar very high. So she does have one award. She won the Igor Awards, Eyegore, a 2010 winner for that. Very cool. Alrighty. So, Betsy Russell. And like we said, she was in three of the Saw films as Jill. She was in Saw 3, Saw 4, and Saw 5, all between 2006, 2007, and 2008. And way back in 1983, Betsy Russell did a movie called Private School, which I remember. She played Jordan. She was a very young person then. Very cool. The last movie so far she's done, she played a role of Beth White, and it was called Bully High, which came out in 2022. Probably went straight to, it was a B movie, so probably went straight to DVD and Blu-ray. Robert, excuse me, Robot Chicken. She's also done one episode of the TV series. She was Lori and a teenage girl voice. So she actually does voiceover work too. Which is very cool. All right, Betsy Russell. I'm so glad that she was in this episode. All right. Okay. Yeah, I knew I recognized her, so I wanted to put you out there, folks, and let you know that she was great in the Saw films as Jill Tuck. Of course, she had a blonde hair then. This time she had her brunette hair, but changed her color. So, okay. And in the trivia department, just a couple, as always. The title of this episode, Bullets and Bikinis, is the name of the fictional movie the A Team used in the pilot episode to scam needed equipment from the Acapulco Film Commission. The stock footage at the beginning is actually of Fort Lauderdale, Florida, where the girls in the episode are from. There's a shot of Las Olas Boulevard, a popular dining and entertainment street in Fort Lauderdale. After supposedly nearly drowning, Face claims he saw his whole life passing before his eyes and mentions his G.I. Joe action figures. Since G.I. Joe action figures were not released until 1964, Face must have played with them as almost an adult. That's so cool. All right, let's take a look at the goofs here. Okay, and we have, let's see, we only have four. One is continuity. So after Denise rescues Peck, he's on the lounge chair facing up towards her. As they talk, Face's wet hair forms a triangle on his forehead, and a few seconds later, it's pushed over to the side. Then Denise is shown wiping his forehead. Apparently, Gianna Tomasino didn't wipe his head at the appropriate time. Okay. Uh, then we've got, so that was continuity. Then we've got incorrectly regarded as a goof. And it says, although most of the action takes place in Florida, songs by the Beach Boys are sung or referenced throughout this episode. The Beach Boys are commonly associated with California, but the songs are meant to reflect the beach culture, whether wherever it may be. So whether it's Florida or California is irrelevant. That's very true. So even though if the Beach Boys are singing it, they're not just, it's not like they're chained to the California beach scene and supposed to sing. You know, I've seen them perform in Florida, so I mean, they've been there. All right. In revealing mistakes at about 12 minutes in, the Beach Cove Hotel Ford van parked next to the A-Team's Oldsmobile station wagon has a California plate on it. Also, a great number of cars parked and in the background have California plates as well. So maybe there's a lot of people just visiting Florida at that time of year, from California. Who knows? And errors in geography. There are no railroad tunnels in the state of Florida. Absolutely true. So that is a huge, big error there. But like I said, there was only four that people could pick out. So, you know. All right, let's look at the quotes, which is always my favorite. All right, so first one between BA and Mer- between BA and Murdoch. So he goes, "I hate dentists, and I hate driving with Murdoch, but you hate flying with Murdoch more, don't you? Don't you?" Faceman says, I think my idea of having all the help wear bikinis is really going to pay off. And then Hannibal says to Sandy and Peck, he says, "We got to get our hands on Joey's girl. She knows what we need to know. I hear you can find her every morning taking her beauty swim in her private beach, usually without her clothes on." "Really? Perfect. Face, you go out and say hello." "Why, you mean that sweet, beautiful creature who pulled a 357 Magnum on you?" "What is this, Hannibal?" Throws him a newspaper. "It's today's paper." "Read today's paper, which means today is the ninth, which means I got here on a day." "Well, what's a day or two among friends?" "A plane lied to me." Denise says, "You okay?" "Oh, yeah. My legs are just a little weak from 2 hours of dog paddling." And then Tina, she says, "Took you long enough. I was only going to give you 5 more minutes. With a body like she had? Not a chance." Then Denise says, "I think he's having trouble breathing. He probably needs mouth to mouth." "Ah, yes, yes." Bodyguard says, "I know CPR. I can do it." "Huh. I can breathe. I can breathe." Then the hostess says, "They're setting a table right now for you. Can I take your name?" "Yeah, my name's Trouble, and you got some of it, lady." And Faith says to BA, "Yeah, at the dentist." "Ah, relax. Relax, BA. Dentists are our friends. And if you're real good, he might give you a sucker when you're done." "A sucker is what I feel like for being here." And then Sandy says, "I don't know how we can ever pay you back for all you done for us." "I got a tan. What more can I want?" "And I think I owe you an apology, Mr. Peck." "What happened to Face?" "Well, I respect you now." And then Face Man, after being rescued from pretending to drown, "My whole life was passing before my eyes. I saw my little red wagon, my G.I. Joe doll." That's so cute. Alrighty. And there are no soundtracks other than the main. So we'll take a look at the filming and production, which I always like reading. Okay. So, as we said, there was stock footage of Fort Lauderdale, Florida. Then there was stock footage of the Los Angeles International Airport, One World Way, Los Angeles. Then the beachside hotel actually is centered in Santa Monica, California, which unfortunately, God rest the area there is going through a lot of the wildfires. And I don't know if this club is still there, but it was located at 201 Palisades Beach Road in Santa Monica. So it's more than likely it's gone. And then establishing shot of the cliffside apartment was at 101 Ocean Avenue, right there on Santa Monica. And then, let's see. Yeah, there's a lot of locations. Cool. Then there's 4445 Admiralty Way, which is in Marina Del Rey, California. That was the Marina restaurant. Then the Roundabout Hotel entrance was at Lowe's, Loews, Santa Monica Beach Hotel at 1700 Ocean Avenue in Santa Monica. The train tunnel was supposed to be located at Santa Clarita, California, even though they do not exist in Florida. And in Long Beach, California, they had a hotel under construction and a shootout, which is where my sister and her family is. Hopefully, still safe. Then Faceman's fakes drowning in the ocean was done at Mother's Beach in Marina Del Rey, California. As Miami stood in for Miami, Sunset Bay Towers, the building was under construction at the time of the filming. That was at 1310 East Ocean Boulevard in Long Beach. Long Beach got to play Miami. Long Beach Marina was also playing Miami in a shootout. And of course, driving through various neighborhoods was LA. The Marina restaurant where the kidnapping and the fake drowning was Marina Del Rey. The hotel beach was Santa Monica. And then they even added Venice Beach in Venice in LA was another location. So very cool. Okay, so let's go back here and let's take a look again. Go back here to season 3 again. So I'll let you folks know what's going on. Something I forgot. Okay, so 347 people have watched this episode, giving it an average grade of 7.2 out of 10. And for the Bend in the River Part 1, they had 339 people watch it, gave it about a 7, almost a 7. It's right there at 6.9. So that sounds about right. I actually did give Bullets and Bikinis a B minus. Thought it was a decent episode, but not one of the better ones for starting off season 3. I was a little disappointed. Uh, so I gave it, B minus, which probably is close to like a 3.6 or 7 out of 5 stars. Because usually when I give 4 out of 5, that's right up a straight B. So anything below that is probably either like a B minus or like a C plus. So it's, right about there. I would say, I'll go ahead and say this, that The Bend in the River Part 1 was actually a pretty good two-parter episode, but again, not the greatest that I've ever seen. There's a few more that come up later on that I know are a lot better, and I'll recognize them right away. But I would say probably I would give The Bend in the River for some of the action and things that were happening, and of course bringing in Tanya's fiance, with Tanya Baker. I'd probably say give it up to about a B. So basically, episode 1, season 3 is a B minus, and I gave a straight B just to the entire episode, the two parts with the bend in the river. So, okay. So now let's go to the bend in the river part 1, which is the one we'll do today, and then next Thursday we'll do part 2. And then, of course, fire after that. That's the other episode. So we'll mention that one more time. Okay, so, all right. The Bend in the River, like I said, came out September 25th, 1984. And the A team goes to the Amazon jungle in Peru to rescue Tanya's fiance from a river pirate called El Cajon, who scares everybody off with a shady Doyle. The director of this episode was Michael O'Herlihy. And of course, Lupo, Jake Cannell, and Mark Jones all did the writing. Okay. So we've already examined Marla Heasley, who played Tanya Baker. But the one I want to take a look at is Dick Van Dyke's son, Barry Van Dyke, who plays Dr. Brian Lefcourt. So we'll take a look at him here for this episode. Okay. Barry Van Dyke, actor, writer, and director. He is the second son of legendary entertainer Dick Van Dyke. He has one older brother. His name is Christian Van Dyke, and two younger sisters, Stacy Van Dyke and Carrie Beth Van Dyke. Barry's TV debut was as Florian, a violin-toting 9-year-old in the Talented Neighborhood movie from 1962. Well, it's an episode, I'm sorry, of the classic The Dick Van Dyke Show. Um, he worked behind the scenes on subsequent ventures of his father's and has co-starred with him in 3 series. The Van Dyke Show in 1988, Diagnosis Murder in 1993. He was in Galactica 1980, which is the sequel to the original Battlestar Galactica from 1980, and he did Airwolf for 1987. Now, let's see. So his earliest, of course, Galactica 1980, he did 10 episodes of that series as Lieutenant Dillon. Then he worked, like I said, he worked in Remington Steele for 1 episode. He played Creighton Phillips in 1982. And then in 1987, he did 24 episodes of Airwolf with Ernest Borgnine. And, and, oh God, I forgot his name. The other guy that was worked on that. See, I keep forgetting shit. Oh, sorry about that. Okay. And he played St. John Hawk in that for 24 episodes. Then in Diagnosis Murder with his father, he played Steve Sloan. He did all 178 episodes of that from 93 until 2001. So, and let's see. Yeah, he was St. John Hawk. Where is Ernest Borgnine? Okay. So this must have been a yeah, season 4. So after fighting Hawk, so he must have taken over after the other person that did it before. Yeah, let's. This will bug me if I don't get it. Okay. Yeah, Jan Michael Vincent. There we go. I was trying to remember who that was there. And then they also had Ernest Borgnine. So, but they also had Alex Corbin in that too. So there was a bunch of people in Airwolf. You know, if you folks want me to do Airwolf as the TV series for later on this year, I could always do Airwolf. I know a lot of people love Airwolf. So yeah, very cool. Alrighty, well, let's go back to 18 here and examine the season 3, episode 2. It's the two-parter there. Okay, so we'll get back to that here real quick. Okay, so The Bend in the River Part 1. Okay. The Bend in the River was shot as part of season 2. It's the only season 3 episode featuring the Tanya Baker character from season 2 and also has a season 2 style opening, lacking the new preview opening of the other season 3 episodes. Also, flashbacks from Bend in the River feature in earlier episodes from season 2. Barry Van Dyke and Dirk Benedict would both appear in the Battlestar Galactica series. Murdoch is mimicking the famous German director Werner Herzog while he was filming his jungle epic Fitzcarraldo in 1982. This episode is presumably named after Bend of the River, a 1952 action adventure starring James Stewart. This 2-hour TV movie is usually shown as 2 parts in syndication. Oh, thank you, babe. I needed a drink. And in later years, Dwight Schultz would say that he disliked this episode. Wow. That's good to know. All right. Goofs. Okay. And there is only one. A character error that somebody found. So, B.A. Baracus has the sheer brute physical strength to move a guardian deity stone, similar to Easter Island's Moai, several feet, yet is incapable of tearing a bamboo cage apart when he's trapped inside it? Wow. Yeah, that's a big, big minus on BA's part there. Alrighty. Okay. And let's see. For the quotes. All right. So first, Hannibal and Faceman. So Hannibal. Murdoch is in a coffin talking to himself. What is this all about? Oh, this is gonna be fun. He's making a movie. Classic little film called Clothes for Remodeling. Hannibal contemplates this as Murdoch jabbers on inside the coffin. Well, that's already opened. I saw it in a theater marquee last week. Don't you do that to me, Hannibal. One lunatic in this outfit is enough. And then between BA and Hannibal, and BA, after finding out they're going to take a plane, you ain't going to get me to eat, drink, or swallow anything. And Hannibal runs to the front of the van, bringing back BA's milk carton. And I guess you don't want this last swallow of your milk. Realizes he's already been drugged, raises his fist, and passes out. And then there's a interplay between two of the criminals, Kruger and El Cajon. Kruger says, "You fat bag of donkey sweat, where is it? You'll make a big mistake." Fires the shotgun leg. "It's a double barrel, senor. The man who walks on one leg carries the shotgun in the other. It's good trick, no?" The fat bucket of donkey sweat do it again, huh? And then face to Hannibal says, holding a Spanish English dictionary, "Oh, well, now this is encouraging. Yeah, yeah, El Cajon's Spanish translation, the coffin. What kind of a sponge heel would call himself the coffin? Well, perhaps the same kind that would call himself Hannibal." And then Murdoch says, "Ladies and gentlemen, my name is H.M. Murdoch, better known in the theatrical capitals of the world as HMM, or and I am the greatest director of cinema that has ever exposed a frame of film. And I usually get what I want. So where are the 200 llama wool sweaters that I need for the barbecue scene on the beach?" Animal says, "I'm looking for a river guy named Little John." Churlisco says, "He died." "No kidding? When did that happen?" "Tomorrow. And you're going to beat him into the ground, unless you're going to pack your bags and get out of here real fast." "You're well on, senor." This is from El Cajon. Animal says, "Are you the jackass that calls himself the coffin?" "Yes, senor. El Cajon." Murdoch says, "Mr. Coffin, please do not sweat. There is to be no sweating in my film." Throws him a towel. "Here, wipe it off yourself." Hannibal says to Tanya and Face, "And you're engaged to this Brian Leftcourt?" "Pre-engaged. We gave each other these St. Christophers. When he got back from trying to find the lost treasure of Del Rio, we were going to be married." "When did this all happen?" "Last month. And you guys were in South Carolina helping that old sheriff." And then Hannibal says to El Cajon, if I can get this dang bedbug off my shirt. There you go. He says, "Okay, which one of these cabanas is yours? The one with the TV antenna, huh? The reception is muy malo. Get only Donald Duck on Saturday without sound. What a shame. Let's take a look." Okay, cool. All right. Now let's take a look at the soundtrack. Okay. So, including the theme song, they did throw in from Ross Bagdasarian, which was uncredited, the Witch Doctor song. "I heard the witch doctor, he told me what to say. Ooh, ee, ooh, ah, ah, ting, tang, walla, walla, bing, bang." That one. Anyway, performed by Ross Bagdasarian as Ross Bagdasarian Sr. Yeah, that song's in there. That is so cool. All right, let's take a look at the locations. Let's see. Okay. It looks like that most of it was filmed in one part of California in Stockton, which is near Oakland and San Francisco. So, Stockton, California had one location. So cool. Alrighty. So, that was the Bend in the River part one. And we'll go back here to A Team. Okay. So, as you know, next week we'll do the Bend in the River Part 2 review, and we'll do uh season 3, episode 4, which is Fire. That's all it's called, Fire. So that'll be next Thursday. Okay. And Sir Lemon Pie has come in and he says, "Hi, Mikey." And Little Blue, that's Eli, just popping in to say hi. Hello, Eli. Let me add you here as a moderator standard so that you can review, remove chat messages, and hide or put users in timeout. You can also uh, post links to your channel if you want for reviews that you do along with Steve or by yourself. So there you go, Little Blue. Now you're a standard moderator for our channel here at MikeySuzeFour. Use it wisely. I'm kidding. No, I know you'll do a good job. But anyway, you are now a standard mod and added to our growing family here at Mikey Seuss 4. We have 236 awesome family community members as subscribers, and we're trying to get to 250. So if you have friends out there, Eli, uh, pass it around. Tell them, hey, subscribe, share, hit the like button today if you enjoy this. 5 people already have, so thank you so much. And uh, and don't forget, of course, the ding ding ding. The notifications bell. Make sure when you subscribe, tell your friends when they subscribe. Make sure they do all notifications. So when they see in the future where it says no, notify me, it takes less than 1 second. Hit that thing once and it will say notification on. Make sure it does. And then you'll know when we get more webcam streams like this, as well as live streams that we plan on doing for Saturday. For the Saturdays that we're doing the fan films. Each Saturday will be a fan film each of Star Trek and Star Wars. So that's going to be a lot of fun. I can't wait for that. That's going to be great. Okay, so we are done for tonight, or I should say this morning. It is 3 o'clock in the morning, so I'm just going to kind of hang around YouTube, going to check out a few things. Probably going to go ahead and watch the first Star Trek fan film I'd like to review for Saturday. So I'll probably watch over that real quick. But in the meantime, let's go ahead and do a quick prayer for everybody. So, in the name of the Father, Son, and the Holy Spirit. Dear Lord, thank you for the wonderful thing we know is social media. We want to thank all of our friends, including Brad Wolf, Sir Lemon Pie, and Mr. Little Blue, or also known as Eli, who have all been here tonight, this morning, early afternoon, wherever it is in the world, and have come to be with us. And 5 people that have come out to their likes and a couple people. So we really do appreciate all that. Remember, we're asking for prayers for the victims and their families of the LA wildfires, the victims and their families in the recent earthquakes, which affected there in the Far East around Japan and all of those areas. We're asking for special prayers, of course, in the Middle East because of all the people that are suffering between Israel and Palestine and other locations in the world. We pray for both of our brothers, Jay in Louisiana and Michigan. We pray for our brother Larry, of course, who is my friend of 48 years this year. And so and his family. And we're praying for our own immediate family, me and Suzanne, hoping that they stay safe and that everybody is doing well, no problems, and especially our sister Dee, who's over there in Long Beach area and could still be in danger. So we're praying that she isn't, that she doesn't have to move, and she doesn't have to be evacuated. So we're all asking for that too. All right. So with all that in mind, let's just say, Our Father who art in heaven, hallowed be thy name. Thy kingdom come, thy will be done, on earth as it is in heaven. Give us this day our daily bread. Forgive us our trespasses, as we forgive those who trespass against us. And lead us not into temptation, but deliver us from evil. Hail Mary, full of grace, the Lord is with thee. Blessed art thou amongst women, and blessed is the fruit of thy womb, Jesus. Holy Mary, Mother of God, pray for our sinners, now and at the hour of our death. For the kingdom, the power, and the glory are yours now and forever, as it was in the beginning, is now, and it ever shall be, world without end. Amen and amen. Father, Son, and Holy Spirit. So, thank you, thank you. And Sir Lemon says amen. Thank you, Lemon. You're much appreciated when you do that. We really do love it when you do that with us and Brad and everybody else. So cool. So to Lemon, to Brad, to Little Blue, Eli, thank you guys for being here this morning. I know it's really early, and I know sometimes it's hard to bring you folks over to watch, but we really do appreciate that you're here for us 24/7. And like I said, get some more friends to come along and join the ride and subscribe to our channel. You'll never go wrong with us. We treat you all equally and fairly, and you'll never have a problem when you come here. You'll always be accepted. No worries, no problems at all. And you can tell us all your problems, and we can try to help you best we can. That's what we do. And my wife is a minister, Suzanne, so, she's there for you too. So we all are, you know? And, so with that, as the wonderful Gene Siskel, rest in peace, of Siskel and Ebert at the Movies had always said at the very end of every show, the aisle is now closed. So thank you everyone for being here, of course. Remember, we do have our Star Trek, our very first Star Trek fan film that we'll be reviewing this coming Saturday. I'll come up with the time probably by Friday because I don't know what my other friends are doing, and I just don't want to, run over anybody else's chats or live streams because I know Resolute does his Saturday morning cartoons, and he's got something else. So it's probably going to be in the afternoon, more than likely, right around what you folks are saying. Oh, yes, by the way, the poll. Um, we are looking at very close right now between 12 noon and 1. So if it does come out that close, like this, by Saturday when I announce the final results, I think what we'll do is go ahead and just go with 12:30, and that would probably be a good time. It'd be like right after lunch, take care of all my food and everything like that, and then just go and do it. So yeah, that would probably be a better time, I think, would be 12:30. But we'll see. Like I said, if 1 and 12 are running very close, that's what we plan on doing. So moving forward, next week. And don't forget, January 20th, there are three main things going on. We've got our friend Raquel's birthday. We're also going to be celebrating partly, in fact, um, Martin Luther King Jr.'s, his I've Got a Dream speech. And it's only 5 days after his birthday, which was yesterday, uh, officially. And then the inauguration of Mr. DT. I don't like to say his name anymore. I'll try not to anyway. I know I'm going to throw it out there somewhere, but no. But he's going into presidency again, so we'll see what happens with the United States after that. Or if somebody, you know what. Anyway, s- so with that final, and of course, Sir Lemon says, good night, Mikey in chat. Thank you, Sir Lemon. Thank you for being here as always. So with that, God bless you all. God bless America. God bless Canada. God bless the entire freaking world. And of course, peace from MikeySuzeFour. Remember, Larry of Be Yourself Adventure says, always be yourself. My beautiful wife Suzanne always says, leave it in God's hands. And of course, my motto is expect the unexpected. Take care, everyone. We'll see you next time.